Hello, Imaginers. My name is Kyla Martin, and I am a career coach and dream strategist, helping you to uncover and create the career and life that you actually imagined living for yourself. And on today's episode, I want to talk to you about something I'm calling pandemic plans. I was watching Oprah recently, and she was interviewing Alicia Keys, and they were talking about the time that we're in and what they were each doing during this time. And Alicia Keys and her husband were talking about going after all kinds of amazing things during this time that they have. And she said what seemed like kind of an offhand remark, but it really struck me as so important for this time that we're in. And it was this: if we aren't going to go after something right now, when are we? And I thought that was such a profound thing to say, because so much of our lives we spend wishing for something different. And oftentimes it is wishing for more time. And now we find ourselves, some of us, with so much time that it can feel overwhelming. And so I thought about this idea of pandemic goals, pandemic plans. And one of the inspirations for it also came from a client of mine who told me recently that she has a COVID bucket list, which I thought was a great way to look at a time that's hard that we're in right now. There's a lot of the environment that we're in right now that we can't control. And I loved that she was taking control by creating a bucket list, an action plan for what she wanted to do. I've talked a lot about how I'm looking at this upcoming year as my gap year. And I want to give you that same gift. If I told you that this coming year would be one that you never got back, what would you do with it? What plans would you start making with it? And what I want you to know is that plans can often be undoing something as much as doing something. So again, I used to hear so many of my clients just want more time, more freedom, more flexibility. And many of them have gotten that now, but it can seem overwhelming without plans for that time. But again, some of that time can be doing things that you don't want to do anymore. I often prescribe, as it were, my clients with be time, BE, because there's such little of our life where we actually simply sit and think and ponder and take a walk and think deeply about something. And so one of your pandemic plans or goals might be to incorporate more time to simply think about what you want next, to simply ponder the changing world that we're in and what you want that to mean for your life. How do you want your life to be different as we continue to evolve? I think all of us know that there's not really ever going to be a going back to normal. It's going to be creating the next evolution. And I believe it's the next evolution of humanity. I believe that if we look back in history, often it was the darkest times that led to the greatest light, to the greatest innovation. And I believe that what we're most afraid of during this time is that we aren't pursuing the life that we imagined. We aren't pursuing our dream careers. And oftentimes in the past, we told ourselves we just needed time to be able to do that. And now many of you have more time. And that time might just be you don't commute to the office anymore. That time might be that you used to have lunch with people at work and now you're having lunch by yourself. So how can you use the time that is being created to think about what your pandemic plans are, what your goals are going to be? Because we got a ways to go with this. And for me, the more that I proactively contemplate, consider, plan how I spend my time, the less this affects me. I almost sometimes feel like I live in a parallel universe. And not to say I don't experience ups and downs, I absolutely do. But my brain focuses on the possibilities. And for me, this is a year I will never get back. And so I want to ensure that I'm creating plans that will serve me in the future after we've created the next evolution, after we've created the new normal. So on the road to your life imagined, to the career that you actually imagine for yourself, the flexibility, the freedom in a way that even blows the current environment out of the water. Where do you want to live? Where do you want to spend your days and hours? Where do you want to contribute to the world? Consider what those plans are. Create some goals during this time and start to take some small steps toward them. I'm here to help you in any way I can. Check out my website, Kyla Martin Consulting, for a free download. 3 simple steps to the life that you imagine living. And as always, I am cheering you and your pandemic plans on to create the career and life that you dreamed about. Take care.